What's up everyone, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. Here we're up to pack 3 for the AGORA models Mitsubishi Zero, and we're going to be building the machine guns, engine mounts and cockpit assembly. Let's go through all the parts quickly before we dive into the instructions, which I've downloaded for this. At least detail already. It's got lights in the cockpit and everything like that, like little LEDs. All the parts are pre-painted like always. Check out that, a lot of plastic parts in this one. See some electronics there, little daughter board, which you collect probably, or you connect all your LED lights to. Another light there. A lot of parts in this. So this part feels a bit, some bit of metal in this part, nice and heavy. Get this as well. This is metal, and the last two parts here, they look like the engine mounts and the machine guns. Let's get started. First up, you have to glue the barrel into the gun body itself. Now, there's right, it says right just there, and also you need to do the same for the left. So I'll glue those in and we'll go to the next step. And it comes with 2 LEDs. Now all you need to do, you need to bend these at a right angle. There's 2 of them, so obviously do the same for the next one. Just bend it over just like that. Just be gentle, but it just needs to be a right angle. So once you do that, you get your little LED, and there's a little channel where it goes in the gun. Line it all up there, and you've got to cap it off with the other side. Snap fit, but you put a little bit of glue there, and that is it. You get 2 gun units. Make sure it's all snapped together like that. So obviously when they fire, they're going to be like a little orange or red light. It's going to show or emit somewhere. And to finish your stage off, you just get the handle. Just beware, there's left and right, and you want to glue it to the machine gun body. I'll do it off camera, but it just basically goes like that. That's the stage complete. Next up we have the engine mount. You've got this outer silver ring and you've got these 2 parts on the side and also another part in the middle. I'll show you that in a sec. When you're putting it on, you've got to make sure that there is a hole in each of the inner sections, because this other part will join them all together. So do it in stages, let the glue dry, and then you can do the bottom one. So just make sure they've got them in the right direction. When you're looking at it like this, you've got to make sure like they're facing outwards. So a bit of super glue on these little joints. And next up we'll do the bottom bracket. Bit of glue here and a glue in either side here. Bottom bracket, it's got like this little crease section up top. That's the way I found that it sits better, because it kind of sits on an angle and helps, well, just position itself properly. So you put this in there, and at the same time put these legs in either side, and it should expand this part out a little bit. That's what it says in the manual. So it should just bring them out a tad, and that's it. Just make sure they're all lined up, they're pushed in the holes where they need to go, and it kind of just sits there. That's it. Very delicate. The last step for stage 17 is gluing the gun sight. Now check out this detail. Little gun sight there. It's got 2 pieces of plastic separately like painted there, so it looks not just all the one colour, and all that's going to do is get glued into this hole just like that. Stage 17 is done, and you also know you'll be left with 2 screws. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. That's just for a later stage. Stage 18, we have this like bulkhead. This part is actually metal, really nicely detailed already, separately applied colours there as well, so it looks really nice. Now you also get a few other parts. You get 2 of these handles actually, thank God, because they're so small. So you get that's a handle, this is a hydraulic pump, this is just some lines, and this little window goes underneath here in the cockpit, just like that. Now it says to use super glue, but beware, you have to use a little bit of super glue so you don't fog that clear glass up. Now that piping goes in these 2 holes down there, and this hydraulic pump goes here. It is keyed, one's bigger than the other, so it doesn't go in. You know why. It says to use super glue. Hold it there for a second, and that is that. And that small little handle is going to go right in that little hole. So there we go, handle, piping and hydraulic pump. So now I'll put the little Perspex clear window in there. And there we go. Just put a little bit of super glue there. Hope it doesn't get all foggy, but looks nice. Next up we have stage 19. Okay, stage 19 we're going to be assembling the sighting device and installing the machine guns. Now this sighting device, we did that previously. I believe that's step or stage 17. So we're going to be utilising this piece as well. Now in this stage we get two parts here, this plastic piece, and also this part is metal, it's like a bulkhead I do believe, and some 3 screws. So first up we need to get a sighting device into this steel bulkhead, and it's no glue attached here. We're going to be using a screw and one of those screws from little packet in stage 17. There we go, first step done. Next up we're going to be installing the machine guns that we previously made. These two guys here with the 2 LEDs into this plastic housing. Now it's careful, you've got to make sure you route the wires as shown there, but I'll show you how that looks when I put them in. So don't glue these machine guns into the housing. It's like a little hook just under the gun here. Kind of slide it in there and push it down just like that. These will get held later on. They've got those little pins on the other side. When we glue the other part or screw it together, it'll push them down. So that's it. That's that stage done. Okay, stage 20 we're going to be fitting the circuit board into here, and along with some other parts we've got the foot pedals, manual fuel pump handle and control stick. Firstly we get the circuit board and we're going to lock it away with 2 screws just there and there. In the interest of time, and don't want to make these videos too long, I don't want to show you me putting in every screw, but there we go, there, lock these away. These came included in the kit, and there is always a spare generally found. And now we're going to plug the wires into the correct hole, so, or the right plug, sorry. So these ones, the blacks on both point to the outside and on there, just like that. And also lastly, just make sure you feed the wires from this circuit board down into this little channel. Just be careful because they can be pretty delicate. Next step, we're going to be fitting the control stick, the fuel pump and the pedals onto this part that we finished previously. Now the control stick you don't actually glue, it just says to press fit, so that goes in here and just in there like that. Fuel pump handle goes in here and it's keyed, so it can only really go in one way, just like that. Foot pedals just go here, kind of fit in there loosely, so just hold it for a little bit until the glue sets. Okay, with the pedals all nice and dry, get the previous part that you built and you want to feed the wires through these holes here and line it up with these 2 recessed holes, and you want to lock them away with the screws that you got in stage 18. Just make sure that when you got this part on the bottom here, that you're not pinching those wires. Make sure they're all recessed into that channel. And once that's all tightened down, that is stage 20 complete. Don't worry about these guns being a bit cattywampus. They've got another part's got to go into the front of that to lock them all in. Pedals, fuel, what's that? Fuel lever, control stick, hydraulics, guns. There's lights in there. A lot of cool things. And also this part looks like a tank of some sort. I don't know if it's an air tank, but that came with stage 20, but you don't use it. So on to stage 21. Now stage 21 consists of these parts, and it's pretty much an instrument panel. Now just look at the detail on these. I hope it focuses. They're pretty legible. So you've got one on the left and one on the right. It's also got some already installed into this piece. There you go. Nice, isn't it? So basically all we do in instructions on these 2 pre-built clusters of instruments, there's a smaller and a larger hole. So just make sure the large holes are facing towards the center. 1 and 2. Just super glue those in just like that. And then when you've done that, you need to sit this whole panel on top just here. So it looks like that. Bit of super glue there, and on the top here of this, just up here. There we go. That's how that looks. And stage 21 is complete. Okay, now stages 22 and 23, I thought I'd do it together because they focus on this particular side of the cockpit, and there's an interior light, and there's certain little accessories that just spruce it up. Got some control sticks here, another one here, little control panel as well, and they just go under the various parts of this side of this fuselage. or cockpit, sorry. I'll show you quickly for example here. So I'll just do that all off camera. See, 23 is the same, putting all these little parts in. Nothing much to it. Don't want to bore you too much and don't want to keep the video too long. But yeah, so we're basically going to end up with this. And as you can see, beautiful detail. They're all separately painted too. The black part, the silver, looks great. And the last bit is you get this light. It's the cockpit light. Feed it through this channel. Through here, you got like a little tongue on there. It says it doesn't require glue, and it just pushes in, and that's it. That's it. That's that stage complete. So stage 24 is the other half of the cockpit, but in this stage you still need to apply some of the pieces that we got from this stage onto the previous stage, which is 23. You got a elevator control wheel, a arrestor gear control. This guy just here, so that's going to go onto this particular side, the one we just finished. And there's even like a small set of dials. It's going to be really hard to see. It goes in there as well. Amazing detail. And I said many times before, but the instructions are really easy to follow. And just a quick one. All the kind of parts are keyed, so it's like a semicircle, and that's the same with the actual part that you're putting in. So it's really hard to get it wrong. Just like that. Not much went on to this side of the cockpit, except for this elevation correction wheel. We added another shift up here for this one, and all we did on this piece was add these tiny little dials into that part of the cockpit. That's it. 23, 24, and now we're up to 25. Now step 25 is going to be using those same parts of the cockpit. This is just additional detail, and it gives you what everything is. So for example, this here is the emergency floating device piping. This one here, saying that was a seat light, and the gun selector is this piece here. So it gives you what everything is. This one here is the fuel tank switching pipe to the instrument panel. So it gives you all the instructions, and then you glue that whole set onto the other part that we were doing as well. And this other side has a light as well. Oh, check out that one LED on this side as well. There's that separate panel that had the little instrument clusters in them. Everything is added to them nicely. Check out that. How cool do they look? See how your left and right side. Really digging it. Only one more to do in this step, and that's going to be 26. So in this stage we have, I think it's a seat frame it said, and oxygen cylinders. So they're going to go on either side, and these two small pieces here. Really easy. Not much in this step. That's all there is to it. And you have to pay attention to this particular part. The seat frame has a slightly lowered tip with a hole that hole. Be careful not to fix them the wrong way around. So at least it gives you a good explanation to that. And there we have it. Stage 26 and the last stage on this pack. Got your oxygen tanks there. One kind of overhangs in the middle. Single one there. Just straighten that one up a little. There we go. And there's two sections on the side. You'll notice if you look at them on this angle, they should drop down a little bit. So you can see, drops down on the left and right side as well. And that is that. So this was a very enjoyable build, this particular pack. You had heaps. All the cockpit, machine guns, LED lights, engine mount, gunner sight. That looked really good. Instrument panel. Also got this, looks like some type of tank, and this seat back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a comment and a like down below, and look forward to the next pack. Can't wait.